delighted that you have come. I need to say a couple of things before he comes. One, because of his schedule, he will not be able to greet persons, but he's inviting everybody to come to Tougaloo this afternoon at 3 o'clock. Is that right? At 3 o'clock this afternoon. And at 3 o'clock this afternoon at Tougaloo College, he'll be able to greet you. And he welcomes you to come there so that you can greet him and have that kind of time with him. Most politicians, when they are vying for office, they make a pit stop in church. And my hat is off to him because he said, when he called, and his person's called, he said, no, I want to come and worship. And when we got ready to enter the sanctuary with him, I said to Malcolm, have the audience stand and respect and give honor to our vice president. He said, no, Dr. Young, don't do that. I just came to worship. And I said to him very nicely, very nicely, Mr. Vice President, I'm in charge of this. And everybody's going to stand. I just want you to know that he did not come here with any pomp or circumstance. He really came to worship. And I thought you needed to know that. Now, I'm going to recognize all our friends before we leave, as soon as he finishes, but I'm so delighted to have him here that he decided to come to worship. And I'm going to ask our congressman, the man who's done a lot to help Lamont, Mississippi. And our friend, our congressman, would you all warmly receive Congressman Thompson?
Thank you very much, Pastor Young. To the ministers of the gospel, to everyone who assembled here today. It's a unique opportunity we have here from somebody we just called River. There are a couple of things I want to share with you that you probably ought to understand. This is somebody who gave us the best federal judge in the Southern District. You can imagine, Carlton Reed. This is somebody who gave a New Hope member, Gregory Davis, to be the United States. But you know, he picked Tougaloo along to be his head of African American outreach, Trey Baker. But also, somebody that you all know who kind of keeps all of us straight, another member named Sandra McCall, he keeps all of us elected. So to the Easter people of New Hope, it's a pleasure because we know what it means to be picked out, to be picked on. And And so, in spite of that, you know, we know Joe. I'm going to give him another name. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me introduce to you the comeback king.
The pastor just said, you guys are from down here. I knew that. Pastor, I knew that, Doctor. I just want to say, well, Dr. Young, we go all the way back to the early 1990s. Excuse me, Dr. Brown, we go back to the 1990s. But, folks, you know, Dr. Young, First Lady Young, and your daughter who has a voice that just sings to heaven. I tell you, God love her. She is really something else. My friend, Congressman Benny Thompson, I want to tell you, thank you for the kind words. And if I am the comeback kid, which it ain't there yet, but if I'm the comeback kid, there's only one reason I've come back: the African American community all around the country. That's where I come from. You go home with them that brought you to the dance. In 1972, a 29-year-old kid from the state that has the 8th largest black population, I was supposed to get clobbered by that time. Richard Nixon was the candidate for president. George McGovern only got 34% of the vote in my state. But we had the 8th largest African American community in the country in Delaware, and 99% voted for me, and I became a senator by 3,000 votes. So Doctor, as you were preaching, I thought about something, and I really mean it. You know, there's as you know better than I do, there is a theologian named Kierkegaard who said, faith sees best in the dark. Faith sees best in the dark. We've all had some dark times in our lives. Many of you, very dark times. But I found that every loss that I've had, whether it was my wife and daughter being killed, or my son dying, or my 2 other children in trouble, I found that I don't know how people do it without faith. It's a great gift. It's a great gift. And I did say I wanted to come to worship, and I mean it. From the time I was in college, the place I went for hope during those days of early civil rights movement in my state was the Black Church. It's about hope. I'm a practicing Catholic. I always do double duty. I'm going to 5 o'clock mass today. I think I'm kidding. I'm not my mom. I promise I'm going. But all kidding aside, look, there's a lot to hope for. I look back, Doc, and think about the things that I thought were awful in my life and how they turned out to be a gift. I used to stutter very badly when I was a young kid. And you all know what it's like to be made fun of. And I learned to deal with bullies. I thought it was the worst thing that could happen. It's kind of hard to go up to a girl in 8th grade singing Good Good Go, but dad dancing. Think about it. Stutter is the only thing we can still laugh at. If I told you I had a cleft palate, or I had a club foot, or I had a withered arm, no one would have laughed. But you know, the fact is that it's the greatest gift I got, because it gave me an understanding what it's like to be victimized by something you can't possibly control. It gave me an insight that I never had before. It's the greatest gift I've been given. And so I guess what I want to say to you is that We are now in a situation where, I'm going to get clobbered for saying this, but we kind of have a boll weevil we got to get rid of. It ain't going to replace it. It's not going to be replaced with a peanut. It'll be replaced with hope. Look, folks, I'll be brief. Some days, some mornings I get up, and you heard me say this when you invited me to speak to the national organization, Doctor. Some days I get up like you, and I wonder whether it's 2020 or 1920. What I hear voices of intolerance, singing a chorus of hate, exclusion, denial. I know you hear them too. You hear them more loudly, I expect, than I do. We all know when we hear that call, we just can't stand around and wish things to go away. We've got to make things better. We can't do it just by prayer. You know, we have to get to work, and that's what we've always done in this nation. We've gotten to work. This isn't just an election. I think this is a battle for the soul of America. There was a place I didn't think we'd get back to be honest with you. You know, I thought when, I'll tell you a quick story. When I got back from law school when I was a kid, my city of Wilmington, Delaware, was the only city that was occupied by the National Guard since the Civil War because when Dr. King was murdered, a significant part of my city was burned to the ground. And I came back to a city that was in shambles. All the folks that I grew up with, hung out with, worked with, they weren't talking much to each other anymore. Black and white were separated. And I had a good job with a fancy law firm, a decent law firm, good people. And but I found myself deciding I couldn't do that job and I couldn't become a public defender. And I used to interview my clients down by the railroad station, the Northeast Corridor, you know, I-95, the Amtrak, that area. And I thought maybe things were never going to get better. But literally 40 years and a month later, I was standing in that same spot on a platform waiting for a black man to come 22 miles from Philadelphia on a train to pick this white kid up and take me 127 miles to Washington, D.C. to be sworn in as President and Vice President of the United States of America. I called my kids up, my 3 grown children. My son Bo, who's the Attorney General, a war hero, passed away. My son Hunter, who headed up the World Food Program USA. My daughter, who's a social worker. And I said, look, don't tell me things can't change. And I told them about it. I said, look over the 3rd Street Bridge. Look on the east side. That was level when I came back. Now it's prospering. It's growing. Things are moving. And I'm about to be picked up. And I told the story. So I said, don't tell me things can't change. But you know what? As much as that was true, I underestimated one thing. I underestimated that hate's never defeated. It only hides. It hides. Because I never thought, I really got to give my word to this tonight, I never thought I'd see a day that y'all saw in 2017 in Charlottesville. People coming out of the woods carrying torches. Their veins, close your eyes, remember what you saw. Their veins bulging, spewing hate and bitterness, carrying Nazi flags, accompanied by the Ku Klux Klan and white supremacists. And the young woman was killed fighting the hate. The president was asked, he said, what's your comment, Mr. President? He said something no president has said Oh, we'll go back to Andrew Johnson. He said there are some very fine people on both sides. No president's ever made that moral equivalence. And that's when all of you, along with me, decided we got to turn this god-awful position into something positive. I think we're at, and I'll stop, Don, I think we're at an inflection point. Yes, sir. Just as back when I was a kid, turning on the television, watching Bull on black and white TV, watching Bull Connor, thinking he was putting a stake in the heart of the civil rights movement. When he had those fire hoses and German shepherds and dogs on older ladies going to church and young kids. What did he do? He not only didn't put a stake in the heart of the civil rights movement, he did what Dr. King said. He generated second emancipation, the Voting Rights Act, and so much more. Because people began to see around the world, around the country. You all seen Mississippi, but they hadn't seen in North Dakota. You all seen in Alabama, but they hadn't seen in Kansas, and so on. And what happened? The decency and honor of the American people was challenged, and they stood up. Well, I think we're at an inflection point. The way in which the marginalized, the isolated, the oppressed have been treated in these past 3 years, I think is a set awakening the American people. Which is a long way of saying, I think we have a significant opportunity now. I know you agree with me. We have a second opportunity for a new revival. Folks, here's the deal. People become inspired by two things. I'm inspired by inspirational leaders, from Abraham Lincoln to Roosevelt to Kennedy to Obama. They also get inspired by very bad people, by people who don't do good things, make us realize what we have to do. So folks, I think we are in a position for a new awakening here. I think we're at a second inflection point. This election, we can make a choice to take the country back. We can hear what's wrong in this country. We have an opportunity that didn't exist even 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when Barack Obama in office. I was proud to work with the President Obama, but we have an opportunity now. We have an opportunity not only to make sure that Obamacare survives, but make it available to everybody. We get things done now that we weren't able to get done. And we got a lot done under Barack. We can do more things now because people have realized how many people have been marginalized, how many people have been left out, how many people here in Mississippi, because you don't have, your governor didn't extend the idea of Medicare for all across the world. Medicaid. Folks, there's so much we can do. There's so much we can do. I don't want to get myself going here. I better just shut up. Look, folks, it's a great honor to allow me to be here. My dad used to say, I was raised by, I won the gene pool parents. My mom was one of those women who, everybody, not a joke, everybody in my neighborhood wished they had been her. They had my mom as their mom. She was everybody's mother confessor. But my mom used to say, Joey, you're defined by your courage and you're redeemed by your loyalty. You're defined by your courage and you're redeemed by your loyalty. That's what this all represents, it seems to me. The courage to do what you've always done. Fight against oppression, indecency. Stand up. We all make big mistakes. We've all been there, as the doctor said. But my dad had another expression. He said, Joey, it's not whether you get knocked down. Everybody's going to get knocked down. It's how quickly you get up. And it's time for us to get up and take back this country. I love you. You're the reason I'm back. Nobody else. You're the reason.
coming out.